Hi, I'm Ildiko Spinfisher. I'm the founder of Life Retuning, a psychological human energy-based modality which sidesteps the mind. I'm known as the Quantum Wizard. I work with heart-centered entrepreneurs globally to unlock their greatest potential and upgrade their success. I run workshops and courses teaching about energy wisdom. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to share with you on the Be Woke podcast show, and I want to thank you for being here with us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Salant and I am an animal communicator and transformational intuitive coach. My gift is that I am able to see negative energies that are blocking you and remove them with light language and bring in positive energy to bring you back into alignment. I'm also an animal communicator, and I really love talking with Ildiko because she brings the science to what our discussions are, and I'm the intuitive part. Thank you for being here. We're looking forward to having you on all the podcasts. Thanks so much.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Be Woke podcast show with Julie Salant and me, Ildiko Spinfisher. And we are taking the theme of raising your vibrations. At the moment, it's winter, we've got stagnating energy. We can maybe feeling a bit low, a bit sorry for ourselves. So Julie and I are here to give you some tips and tools on how to raise your vibration, your well-being state, and your mood. So today we're going to be discussing the energy centers that you may know of as chakras. Julie.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ildiko. So we are thrilled that you are here with us on the Be Woke podcast. A little bit of an introduction. I have a very kind of funny story for you. If you don't know what chakras are, they are points on the body that have been identified long, long ago as circular centers that are fields of energy. When these can get blocked, they can get stuck just from energetic gunk. And when they do get stuck, well, they start at the top of your, well, the ones that I know start at the top here, but Ildiko will go down all the way down to your pelvis area. When they do get stuck, they cause a lot of issues and problems in your life, both energetically, vibrationally, which really can hinder you. I have a funny small story just to start this off. For those of you that are not believers of chakras or don't know what a chakra is, I have my first chakra retuning from a Native American woman, and I went in and I knew that I felt kind of stuck and down and heavy in my vibration, but I wasn't really, I was just new in my journey. So I didn't believe in chakras. I thought they were a bunch of gunk. I thought they were woo-woo. I thought they were stupid. Do these things even really work? So I went in and she said, that's okay. I'm not going to try and change your mind. After she did some Reiki on me, she opened my chakras up. I got up off that table and I said, I feel like a new person. Energy was flowing through me because the energy flows through the chakras. Yeah. So when the energy gets stuck, for instance, in your throat chakra, you might have a problem speaking your truth, or you feel that you're not connecting with people. So I got up and I said, you know what? I do believe in it now because I can feel it. They are real. And we are here today to discuss your chakras and how they can impact your life and how knowing about them and knowing how to clear them and the sensitivities to them will be a little bit more information for you to be more enlightened.
Yeah, absolutely. As Julie said, they are energy centers. And they are found in various parts of your body, but also I work with a 13 chakra system. So some of those chakras came online for me within the energy work that I do with the Human Energy Field database. And so as it stands right now, it may change in the future, but right now there are 13. And it's an ever-changing landscape with life retuning, with the way I work. I never say, that's it, we're finished. It's not a finite system. It's just an ever-evolving system. As our consciousness rises on this planet, as things are changing, we're moving much more into the fifth dimension, which we'll talk much more about in our upcoming episodes, but
Yes.
just touch on it, that it's a different way of living. The more we're doing that, the more energy centers or chakras are becoming available to us to work with. And this is what's happened over the last couple of years. Some more of these energy centers have revealed themselves to me. So today, what I want to do is to go through for you all of these energy centers and explain and talk about how they can show up in our lives. And it will give you a little bit of a guidance to what might be blocked or need to be worked with. As we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, color is a very, very good way of using vibrations to raise a chakra's frequency if you identify that that is the one that seems to be low and slow on your in your system. So the first chakra that I work with is called the earth chakra. So if you're sitting down or you're walking around, it's located a foot below your actual physical feet. So if you focus your intention and attention down a foot below your feet, that's where the earth chakra resides. And it's because it's not in our physical realm. Some of these chakras, the color associations are a challenge to bring into our third dimensional reality, to say, oh, I see that color, because because it's not happening on that level. So this is where it gets a little bit complicated.
Yes.
But the earth chakra, the way I see it, there are two colors that are sort of bound together. One of them is sort of a turquoisey color and the other is a brown. So these two colors I've been shown are sort of bound together. It's quite interesting because it's different from the other chakras, which are pure color chakras. But this one is, it's a special chakra in many different ways. So what does it represent in our lives? If your earth chakra is locked, if you can imagine a bath where you've put the plug in and you fill it with water. Now, if you walk away and you leave that water for a couple of weeks, when you come back, that's going to be pretty icky.
Yeah.
There's going to be things in there that you don't want to be, certainly not taking a bath in.
Yes, very stagnant.
Yeah, stagnant, because you had a plug in the water. It's not going anywhere. So the earth chakra, if it is locked for you, will start to stagnate your entire energy system. So what you need to do is take the plug out. So the earth chakra is about shifting sands in your life. You may be in a limbo state between jobs, for instance, or if you are moving somewhere, you haven't quite left where you live and you're not quite living where you're going to. So you're in this kind of shifting sand state. And because our minds hate anything that is not concrete, not set, it's the unknown. Our minds cannot deal with that. They don't like it. So our energy field is also affected by this sort of uncomfortable state of, well, I'm neither one thing nor another. So that's when the earth chakra quite often can shut down and we lose our connection to magnetic earth. One of the other reasons why earth chakra might be blocked is because nowadays in modern times we all wear shoes. So if you have a rubber sole, it is actually disconnecting you from earth center energy. So one of the great things to do is go barefoot as often as possible. Have that connection in with the earth. There's a book written about earthing, and I've read quite a lot about earthing. So apparently, earthing and being in connection with the soil, the actual earth, helps to drop levels of inflammation, for instance, chronic inflammation in the body. So it has many, many beneficial effects on us if we connect back in with the earth energy. But certainly your earth chakra, if it is blocked and locked, will mean that you have a stagnant energy field. So just be aware that if you're in a sort of limbo state in your life anywhere, then you might be finding that you need to get that earth chakra unlocked.
And I just want to add in that actually, this is the one you had unlocked for me the other day, correct?
Yes.
So what happened to me as an entrepreneur, sometimes we are always transforming, as Ildiko said. We are never just in one static vibration. We're always transforming as humans, vibrationally, energetically. So if you are leveling up your business, which I am, but you're not leaving behind the old stuff. You may just be slightly changing your focus. So you are still in that state of flux. You're still got a little bit of resonance of, who you are, but you've also got some energy over on this side of where you're switching your focus to, or adding in more to your plate. My earth chakra had gotten locked. And as soon as she opened it, I literally felt the energy flowing up through my feet. And maybe, I just wanted to say, maybe that's why I feel so good when I go to the beach.
Yes.
Your feet are in the sand and that's shifting. So it just feels really good. So
Definitely.
I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Yeah, so you're right, because apparently wet sand is the best thing to be walking on.
Is it?
So, yes, it is.
Oh.
So you and me are very blessed because I live 5 minutes walk from my beach, and you're really close.
And I'm close to the beach too.
So,
it's amazing.
You're in the States and I'm here in the UK, but we got the same.
We do. We do. But I could immediately feel the difference when she opened that chakra. I felt the energy flowing in both feet up into my being. And I think I just wanted to illustrate that sometimes it can be a physical move. It can be a change in partnerships. It can be a change in jobs, but it can also be a subtle shift in you transforming into your higher self and ascension and consciousness.
Yeah, that's right. And at the moment, there's a lot of big energy shifts and sensitive people are feeling them a lot. So, me personally, I just check in with my earth chakra and just, open that if I'm feeling a bit headachy or my energy is compromised in some way, shape or form. That will be the first port of call to check in, to check in with.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a very, very important key chakra. So moving on up, the chakra that you may very well know about, the root chakra, the one that is located at the base of the spine. This one is vibrating with the color red. And we already mentioned red in various ways. It's associated with tribal energy, belonging. It's about physical security and safety in our lives. So if you have anything going on around, belonging to a group and things are not quite working out, or you're carrying any anger from the past with regards to maybe family situations or any other groups, like a previous workplace that you belong to and it's unresolved, if you have lower back pain regularly or tight thighs, then it may very well be that your earth chakra is locked. So these are the indications. This is the way the chakras can be a roadmap to healing. We can use them as a roadmap to healing.
Can I ask you a quick question? Is your root chakra strong? Are there chakras that are stronger than others? In other words, is your root and earth chakra stronger in terms of how it affects you versus other chakras, or do they all have carry the same weight?
Not really, but it's important to say here that every 7 years of our life, a next chakra will take precedence in the vibrational strength that affects our lives. So we start with the root chakra, which is, if you think about it, for a young child up to the age of 7, the family is very important. It's the tribal energy, learning to belong, learning to think the same, behave the same as the group, the tribe. And it's at 7 years old that the energy flips over to the sacral chakra, which is about I, in identity, my personal power. So that's when a lot of challenges can happen in our lives, because we are learning about ourselves as individuals. And, parents can find that very difficult to cope with. Yes. Again, 14 years old, it flips over to the solar plexus, becoming the dominant energy in our lives, which is the seat of our emotions. So all the way through our life, we are every 7 years changing dramatically because of the vibrational state that becomes dominant.
Wow, I did not know that. Yeah. I did not know that. Okay. That makes sense though.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, because every time there's an upheaval, that's when you're changing a chakra, which I didn't even realize was happening, but it makes perfect sense. When you're young, you're trying to fit in, learn the ropes. This is the way we do it as parents. But then you become more of an individual, and it continues along as your consciousness change and you evolve emotionally and spiritually.
Yeah.
Did not know that. That's so interesting.
I think it's 21, isn't it? That's 7 years on from the solar plexus, the heart chakra, when relationships become very important in our lives.
Very much so.
Romantic relationships, looking for that partner that's going to fulfill our needs. So the heart chakra is all about relationships, human level relationships, not just with partners, but also with our parents, with our siblings, with our friends, co-workers. There's many levels of relationships, but the heart is all about that energy of relationship. So yes, every 7 years it switches over. Then the throat comes into play 7 years after that, and as you mentioned, speaking your truth, having a strong, dominant way of expressing ourselves. We've been hunting around until then to establish ourselves. So, 7 years on, it's 28, isn't it?
Yes.
And so the throat chakra becomes dominant at that point. We're moving into our true adulthood, our, strength of character, and on and on. So, yes, it's very important to know which chakra is dominating your life at which age.
I did not know that. Wow. And of course, it would be about feeling not just stagnant, but safe. Yes. If you've had any trauma, we've all had trauma. Everybody's had trauma. If most of us, when you get to, I don't know, so let's just say 30 or 40 as a benchmark, everybody's gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it's not horrific, and hopefully it's not been for you, any of the listeners, but you still probably had breakups when you were young, when you were 15 or 16 in high school. You've been through things. So you've grown. Maybe you've lost a parent. Maybe you've had a divorce. So that's actually trauma that actually hurts. And does that live in the chakra until you release it?
Very often I find with my clients that if a chakra is locked, sometimes it's locked down on the energy of a trauma.
Yes.
And until I release that emotional charge, the chakra will not open. So it can become complex. It could even be that it's several traumas that are holding that chakra locked. It's not common for that to happen, but quite often there is one significant episode in somebody's life. There's a resonant relationship that's set up. The chakra is vibrating in a bandwidth of resonance, which translates down to color and, by the way, sound as well, because color is sound translated up several octaves. It's the same. There's a resonant relationship there, and also with emotion. So if the body and the system is carrying a vibrational frequency that is disharmonious, then the chakra can get stuck. It can get to hold that stagnant energy. So yes, sometimes you've got to release the energy of the trauma before the chakra can resolve itself back to a harmonious state.
And that's the beauty of some of the work that Ildiko does, is that once, I mentioned this on the last podcast, but I'll mention it again, that once she releases it, it's gone. It's gone. So it doesn't come back. But your chakras can get stuck again with gunk because we're living and we're changing.
Exactly.
If you were never changing, then there's you'd probably be either stuck all the way for every single chakra, or you wouldn't be changing at all, which both of those things are bad. You're not continuing on your evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were talking in the other podcast about how we eat color, and color is used in our energy system to balance up and harmonize. Well, chakras are actually balancing up systems as well. So they will let go of energy if you're overloaded. They will actually shut down temporarily so that your system doesn't blow a fuse.
Yes.
Or if you're not getting enough energy in, they will open up wider so that there's a bigger channel of information coming in and energy coming into your system. So they're constantly, you know, doing this job of just balancing out. Our entire system is a massive balancing out generating mechanism.
We are so much more complex than people even know, even in 2020.
That's right.
And as healers, I just want to throw this out there. As a healer, when I am working with people and pulling their energy, their negative energetic vibrations out of them, a lot of times I have to make sure that I get it out of me. I don't, because I can take it in, and then that shuts my system down. And then my aura will change, which I didn't even realize, which Ildiko helped me with the other day. I'm so grateful. But I'm just talking to the healers and the coaches out there. If you're an intuitive person, if you're a healer, if you're sensitive, you may pick up other people's junk even unknowingly.
That's right. If you identify with somebody's junk that you're working with, if you carry that vibration, we talked about this sympathetic resonance.
Yes.
As a healer, as a coach, you need to take yourself out of the equation when you are working with clients. It's very important, because otherwise you will be affected. It's like you are a sponge.
Yes.
And you can get saturated with that energy from your client, and then you carry that saturation, and it can last days, months, years even, if you're not aware of what's going on.
Yes. And how do they, well, we could have a whole conversation on that at another point, but I'd love for you to get through. So we started with the earth chakra.
Yeah.
And then we went to the root chakra. And what color is the root chakra? Is that?
So the root chakra is red.
Red. Okay.
Red. And then we go on to the sacral chakra, which is located just under the navel, the belly button. And that is the sort of individuality chakra. So there are 4 themes where the sacral chakra can show up in our lives. So that's money, power, sex, and control. So if we have any issue with any of those 4 areas of our life, the sacral chakra can shut down and can stagnate.
Well, that about covers our whole life, doesn't it?
More or less, yeah.
Money, sex, power.
Control, yeah.
Control. And what color is this chakra? Orange. Okay.
Yes, it's orange. So it's a very powerful color, orange, if you think about it. It can be a difficult color to deal with. You know, it really carries a very high, powerful vibration. Not high, but a powerful vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I was feeling stuck, this is a very common one, I would think. I would feel, would I feel less than powerful? Would I feel disempowered, disenchanted, very, maybe murky, kind of is what I'm seeing in my head, as to unsure of my direction?
Correct. Let's just touch on, for instance, narcissism, where you are being affected by a narcissist who is draining your energy, your life energy all the time, because they are psychic vampires.
Yes.
Your sacral chakra will probably be in serious trouble most of the time, because they're taking your life force. They are draining that life force out of you consistently. And also at the same time, making you, or rather changing your reality in your head, because they are denying that things are happening, you know, the gaslighting. They're denying that they are doing things. intentionally. We're back to intention again.
Yes, yes.
They're denying that they're doing things intentionally. They're lying about it. They are changing your reality so that you get to a point where you don't know what to believe anymore. Now that will utterly impact the sacral chakra. Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm thinking because I know somebody who feels completely shut down.
Right.
And someone who is claiming they're a healer, but they're not, is taking all their energy.
Right. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I would say check how you feel about the color orange.
Yes.
How you see it and how you feel about it. I'd love to do a comparison, a psychological state comparison with what kind of colors people are either drawn to or repulsed by, and to find out whether there's any sort of correlation, any theme or pattern coming up with those colors.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
And where they feel stuck, because once you can release that, what would change and what would that look like? For instance, as we talked about in the last podcast, if you hate the color yellow, but if I had some trauma and you release that around that corresponding chakra, would I look at yellow differently?
And I can answer that with yes, you would. Because that's, what I deal with a lot of the time with my clients is changing that state and releasing the disempowerment. But it makes me wonder whether somebody, for instance, with narcissistic tendencies would keep away from orange. It's a very interesting question, isn't it?
Wow. I never thought of it that way, but yes, absolutely.
Because they wouldn't like empowering somebody else. And obviously on some level, they feel disempowered. So that whole very subtle level, transaction that's going on energetically in the subatomic level, would that actually translate up to, oh, I don't like orange, I don't want to go anywhere near it?
Yes, absolutely. That would be very interesting.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Next on your list of to-dos.
Yeah, that's right. Or maybe somebody out there would be interested enough, I don't know, listeners.
Yes.
Do comment. Let us know. Do you actually know somebody who has these kind of tendencies, and you found that they don't like particular colors? It would be very interesting to hear from you what your experiences are.
Yes, please do comment, like and subscribe. We always ask you to do that, but definitely leave a comment or a question, because these are topics that are very important. And everyone has chakras, and I think everyone gets stuck from time to time, but that's very interesting in talking about the colors, what you're drawn to, what you don't like. And if you know of a reason why, they're very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on up, I already mentioned the solar plexus. This is the yellow that, you were talking about, and so was I, with that lady who said, absolutely, don't go anywhere near that. She ended up buying a yellow top after I actually retuned that chakra for her. So yellow is the seat of our emotions. It's where we experience fear, anxiety, that, butterfly in the stomach feeling, which you mentioned, and we'll come back to this, but feeling anxious and excited can get mixed up in the mind for people, but they both reside in this center, the solar plexus. And it's, solar plexus is sunshine. It's that big bright light, that kind of central sun. So we can look at it in those terms, that if your light is being dimmed by something, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling fearful, then your solar plexus may very well be the chakra that you need to address to bring that sunshine back into your life.
Yes, absolutely. And that happens to everyone that I know. They feel, that's why they always say, don't dim your light, don't dim your shine.
That's right.
Because sometimes no matter how much we try, we feel like we're not reaching the people that we want to reach. And you may feel like you're trying, but it's just not getting out into the atmosphere and the people that you want to hear you.
We would like to take your hand and step into this year in a different, empowered way that no one is discussing. We invite you to come with us on this journey to show you a different way of being, to get to the deep truth of things, instead of having another year of ups and downs with the same patterns. In essence, we are going to help set you up for success.
We have a SMART 2-part experience just for the listeners. And the SMART experience is an acronym for: the S is for simplicity, the M is for motivation, the A is for action, the R is for reconnection, and the T is for transformation. And we are offering an expansive experience, first with Ildiko, who will remove blockages with energy, and then Julie, who will introduce the light language to infuse you with light, clarity, and positive purpose. So this is a large transformation in not only how you'll feel energetically, but also how you will experience and view the world and opportunities that are open to you. And this will be a session with each of us individually. If you'd like more information, please click the link, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast.